Hello everyone and welcome back to another fantastic episode of That's Not What We Normally Play on Thursdays.com. So it is technically Trial Thursdays. Welcome Zelda Leesville, welcome Kurhu, welcome me, I suppose. Thanks for checking in. It is Thursday and it is typically Trial Thursdays, but there was actually even a new game on the Epic Game Store that we'll end up trying eventually. But it has some possible content. It's rated E10 plus, so it's not like it's bad. Number one, Kurhu. But I wanna look into it a little further, just to make sure. It's a fighting adventure game. It actually looks kind of interesting. It's got like a manga art style sort of thing to it. It's kind of neat. It's called River City Girls, which sounds a whole lot different than the gameplay itself actually is. And based on what I've seen, the premise is it's up to a two-player game, and yeah, exactly. It's up to a two-player game, which we'll be playing it solo, of course. But it starts off, you and your friend, your teammate, I suppose, are in detention, and something transpires, and apparently you find out that your boyfriends have been kidnapped. And so you beat up all the students in detention and leave to go rescue your boyfriends. So that's kind of the adventure fighter style thing to it. It looks really quite comical, and the art style is pretty cool. So we will play that probably next week. But this week I was suffering some Zenless Zone Zero withdrawals. So with that not intro out of the way, for those of you watching after the stream, I do want to remind you that we stream these videos live at twitch.tv/unexpectedlyrandom. We are here Monday through Saturday at whatever random time I get here. It's typically somewhere around 7-ish p.m. Central Time. Make sure you follow us on Twitch to join the chaos and check out our streaming schedule for the current lineup. We also have a Facebook and Instagram. Those are the best places to stay up to date with any changes that may occur pertaining to the streaming schedule. And we have a TikTok and the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, if you want to check us out over there. Otherwise, you are listening to RNDM, the world's most random pseudo radio station. I don't know. I did a stunt as not specifically a radio DJ, but I was the in-radio guy for some of the local ball games so they'd broadcast back to the station, and I was there at the station mixing their feed into the actual broadcast, as well as during their breaks playing the ad breaks and stuff. So I was never actually on air per se, but I always thought it'd be kind of neat to pull a radio DJ sort of thing. And the guy at the guy that owns or runs I think he owns the radio station. He made comments about liking my voice for radio, and that was part of the reason he had me do an ad spot once too. That was cool. But when we were talking about it, I made the offhand comment that, yeah, people tell me I have a face for radio. And his response, I kid you not, absolutely 100% genuine. You do. Just absolutely. It's like, sir, I think you misheard what I said. And realistically, he probably heard the because I said face, which ends in s, and that also sounds like voice. So he probably heard that much of it and just concluded that I was probably mentioning other people had thought the same thing as he did, and not that people thought I was in a position where I needed my face obscured and only have my voice broadcast, which of course was a joke. The whole thing was, it was me being comical because that's an emergency fallback. I don't know. But it was funny, and it makes for a good story to tell random people on the internet. So enjoy. We're gonna claim our Bupon. I got my fan going. It's warmish. I may need to change the reactor core over to cool, because that's what I named my thermostat, and which is tons of fun too. So we are here. We are in the middle of Trigger's story. Charon, I guess, is her name currently. We're gonna take care of our dailies really quick, and then we're gonna jump back into the rest of her story. This is adorable. I didn't know it does this. Belle, I will take good care of the store. Please rest assured and go complete the commission. Oh, is it because I'm in immersive storytelling? That's awesome. Okay, change of plans. We're gonna go do this first. And I'm gonna cough a lot because there is sludge in my lungs, and everybody loves a little sludge. Invitation to kill. How are we? Oh, that was one thing I was gonna do. I wanted to check this because my computer decided it was in charge and restarted. Uncool. It's actually probably my antivirus messing with stuff. I tell it to remind me next century, and then it's like, hey, it's surely been a century in computer years. You need to restart again. Okay, invitation to kill. And we got Trigger.
I'm at your disposal.
Von Lycon. He's a fun one. But we've got
Standing
Andy.
by. Captain of Silver Squad. It's been a while.
Do we want other Ambi or... You know, they say Pulchra is a really good one to pair up with.
Looking for intel or
With,
hiring me for a job?
Ambi. But oh, that's right, we did a bunch of polls. I don't know. Just do that. Doesn't help us much either. Because we've got our 4 of 6 unlocked there. Oh, we gotta level up first. Auto, yes. That's fine for now. Really don't like using those for that, but okay, and now skills is unlocked. Sufficient. Okay, so we'll try. Oh. We'll try using...
My loyalty lies with payment received. Let's get to work.
My loyalty lies with payment received.
like there's something here. Is this a communicator?
It's a mysterious communicator.
Proxy, look at this. A communicator left right at the hollow's entrance.
That is suspicious. PGMS, welcome, welcome.
Why is there a communicator here? It doesn't look like it was randomly left behind.
Random mentioned?
There's hardly any dust on its surface, which means it was only placed here recently. It looks like someone wants us to use it.
Ah, such decisiveness. Following random location info without even thinking twice. I'm glad, Sniper of Liar Squad.
May need to adjust the audio a little bit. Liar Squad?
Liar Squad? What's that? Wait, who are you?
Sniper. Or should I say Kara now? Haven't you shared your past with our dear Proxy? If introductions aren't your strong suit, I'd be happy to show you how.
Oh, I can't go to my menu. Nope, don't skip, don't skip.
You can call me Grim Vulture, the one behind this string of murders. You see, I've been working my way down a list, crossing off names. And now, Charon of Liar Squad, your name's next.
Looks like you've done your homework on me. Just because my presence interfered with your plan, you've decided to take me out for good?
I thought you were just going to be another obstacle in my way. And now, with you in my sights, this must be some kind of destiny.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I'm looking for someone. Given that you're waiting at the hollow entrance they shared, I'm guessing you have them. If you hand them over, perhaps we can make a deal.
Charon suddenly dodges to the side, raises her gun and fires, using her body to shield Eos. In the next instant, a bullet flies past her and hits the ground. Her shot flew off into the distance, and there's only one thing that's for certain. It didn't hit Grim Vulture.
So your version of making a deal is stalling for time to locate me and lining up your shots? Can't say I'm surprised. After all, that's exactly what I plan to do too. You seem to have rather unique eyes, but you'll never get the chance to hit me. After all, no one's better at counter-sniping than me.
Counter-sniping.
Seems talking won't resolve this, but I'm not averse to using force.
Now that's the spirit! If you're looking for someone, why not search the hollow for clues? Providing you can survive both my attacks and those of the Ethereals, of course. Oh, and I've prepared a little gift for all your trouble. I hope you still have that determined look on your face after seeing it.
There's gonna be a trap, or it's gonna be one of her former teammates in very poor condition. Okay.
Watch out for Grim Vulture taking shots from afar. Spray don't keep up. Is there nothing we can do? This will cost Roger.
Engaging head on.
Seems like a good opportunity to Oh, she must clear out after we take out the Ethereals. It's like this would be a...
box. Something feels off about it.
It's gonna blow up. A rather creepy box. It's giving off an unsettling stench. I have a bad feeling that opening it would be asking for trouble. You glance at Charon beside you, who has fallen silent. Clearly she's having the same feeling. Right now she's hesitating about whether to open this box. Charon, wait, don't open it. Charon opens the box anyway. Bloodstained, tattered military cap, carelessly crumpled and stuffed in the corner of the box. Though the owner's identity remains unknown, the message it conveys can only mean one thing. Death. Don't touch what's in the box. Charon reaches out and picks up the military cap from the box, her fingers tracing its shape. Her lips tremble. I'm okay, Proxy. If my sense of touch isn't deceiving me, this appears to be the outfit my former teammate wore, or a replica of it. So this is the surprise Grim Vulture mentioned. I see now. Let's keep moving, Proxy. Charon goes silent. Yet, as she chambers another round, you can sense her hands trembling slightly, while her grip grows even stronger.
You still remember what's inside the box, right? Your loyal teammate's cap, the one Stick wore.
Alright.
Sound strategy.
Curious as to how he died? I'll tell you. He took his own life. There wasn't much different from being offed by Ethereals.
A perfect conduit. Hit the core.
Ethereals had almost completely taken over his body. He was being corrupted, covered in super crystal. His core was almost really formed.
Copy.
Extra. He didn't want to become a wall. We raised the cannon he was so proud of.
I'm not sure how the sniper above had a shot on me where I was standing there.
Obliterated both his core and
So
his
she's
heart.
literally up there, but I was hidden over here.
Any thoughts on the way he can...
Oh, nope.
Did you like it? Do you think I made the whole thing up? Or did it really happen?
And kill. Recalibrating. Shut up. I don't know who you are.
Another high-pressure ether tank. And a lot of ethereals have already been drawn to it.
Leave it to me, Proxy. My eyes will take care of them. We did it, Proxy. Let's keep moving. I want to catch that murderer.
As soon as possible. The second box emanates an ominous aura. This unsettling stench seems to warn you that its contents, just like the previous box, will give you an absolutely wretched experience. Charon's breathing grows heavy. She stands still for several seconds, seemingly trying to control her emotional turmoil. Charon, don't push yourself. Finally, she opens the box. A pair of blood-stained, tattered military gloves lie twisted in the center of the box. It's clear that whoever placed them here hadn't just tossed them in carelessly. They had been deliberately arranged with malicious intent. Charon picks up the gloves, once again feeling their contours and icy touch. Her lips turn pale. Just as I thought. These are from one of my squad mates too. Charon, Let's keep moving, Proxy. Following this route should lead us to Grim Vulture's hideout. I'm fine. Charon picks up her weapon again, but there's an unmistakable tremor of unease in her voice.
Acheron's favorite gloves. It wasn't easy getting my hands on them. As expected of such a famous, beautiful commander, even her gloves are stylish.
Let's play a...
Such a pity. And yet, her hands were missing. Oh, don't you think that's a shame, little sniper?
Oh, good. They didn't change the,
Ethereal's gnawed off her arm.
Ambi's E attack.
Get behind me. Here it goes.
I didn't realize there was another, Ethereal behind me.
I'm on it.
It's just a right. She died from multiple fatal wounds. Even the most beautiful flower will wither without protection, won't it?
Nothing but prey. I've heard the conduit. Hit the core.
Do you think I'm telling the truth or a lie this time?
Downstairs. Loyalty.
How long do you intend to keep up this game of cat and mouse?
This bullet will reach its mark. Gotta keep the claws sharp.
I'll be coming to your hideout soon. Wipe that smile off your face and wait. Wait and see what I'm going to do.
Alright, I'll take over.
I mean,
Good reaction. Hurry up then. I've got one final surprise location for you.
it would be so easy to take her out up there.
I'm
That would
sure
be
you figured out the route to get to me. That's right. The surprise is at the end of the road.
She pops over the edge of that wall and she's so very visible.
Right on cue. A little gift. Stay focused.
Increase firepower.
There's still a third box. You grab Charon's hand, trying to stop her from opening. But she lifts the box's lid almost mechanically. The third box contains a blood-stained corner of clothing and a severely damaged piece of engineering equipment, also stained with blood. Charon picks him up, her trembling fingers feeling their shapes. She doesn't speak, neither about the plans for pursuing Grim Vulture, nor about which of her companions these items belong. Until the communicator in her hands rings out again with Grim Vulture's voice.
Congratulations! You found the third box. Inside is... Who was it again? Oh, right. A piece of bloody fabric from Cocytus's clothes and some damaged engineering gear stained with Leafy's blood. There weren't enough boxes, so I had to cram them together. They're just a medic and an engineer, not exactly combat material, right? Surely you're not mad, are you?
I want to take out this vulture. I'm not even involved in this, and this is infuriating me. Charon's face turns deathly pale. She silently picks up the bloody items from the box, her spirit visibly shaken by the weight of these ominous relics. I guess now is probably as good of a time as any to mention that there may be some graphic content in this storyline. So far, it's just been descriptions, but I think from some slight spoilers I've seen, there may be some more potentially graphic stuff. So bear that in mind. The game is rated T for teen for partially that reason. So enough. How much do you intend to torment her?
Enough already! Using her squad mates, her family to mentally torture her? That's vile. How much longer are you planning on doing this?
It's nice that the music stopped so we could actually get the muffled dialogue here.
Oh dear, did I go too far? My sincerest apologies. It's just, watching you plunge headfirst into my trap was so entertaining. I may have gotten a bit carried away, you know? Relax. The person you're looking for isn't here, and those are just fakes. I didn't actually take them from her comrades. Her comrades are long since corpses in the hollow, after all. How could I possibly have gotten hold of their clothes?
A surge of rage threatens to drown all thought. Just as you are about to retort, a crisp gunshot rings out. Charon's shot is clean and decisive, carrying an unmistakable intent to kill. But from the response on the other end of the communicator, it seems she missed her target.
A decisive strike to be sure. But as I've already said, your awareness, sight, and experience mean nothing in front of a more skilled sniper.
I didn't expect to kill you so easily. There was a subtle change in your ether fluctuations the moment I fired. That was all I needed.
Indication of fear?
You knowing my past makes me feel sick. But after seeing that you're just a coward who feels fear from another's killing intent, it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
Coward, you say? How fascinating! You were little more than a hollow shell before, but now that you've bared your teeth, you've started looking somewhat respectable.
Well, I gave it a try. Time to go for the cough drops. Apologies if it impacts my speech.
I know your composure is nothing more than a facade. You've never truly faced the weight of your comrades' deaths, have you? I bet your mind is now filled with their dying screams.
Her squad mates are still alive.
Karen and I both believe her squad is still alive. You can drop the act. Why are you so fixated on Karen? Just because she used to be in the defense force? She has nothing to do with your target.
Nothing to do with it. Then why don't you go ask her about it? What surprises me more is you actually believe her teammates are still alive. Don't tell me she dragged you into all this danger without telling you anything.
Shut up.
If she won't tell you, I will. Those so-called alive squad mates of hers went missing during the fall of the old capital. I'm sure you know exactly what that means.
I'm pretty sure she's already told us this, actually.
When the old capital fell, countless Defense Force soldiers were either killed by Ethereals or became them. The surviving soldiers, struggling to defend themselves, never had the opportunity to carry their comrades' bodies out of Hollow Zero. Obviously, her squad mates, the members of Liar Squad, were among the dead. But since their bodies were never found, she insists they're still alive. even going as far as to deceive her own Proxy. It's laughable.
I didn't lie to the Proxy. They're alive. I have proof. Someone like you could never understand.
I could never understand? You think it's hard to understand your childish thought process? If you really have solid proof, why not tell me? Come on, let's hear it!
My eyes. I lost nearly 90% of my vision during the fall of the old capital. But in return, I gained the ability to see what others can't. Every second of every day for years, I've seen my squad mates. Not as fleeting shadows, but vivid and lifelike. They've never disappeared. They're alive, waiting for me to find them. Why else would I have been given these eyes?
How am I? I'm doing all right. I've definitely been better, but I think we're on the recovery side of this goo that I've got. So all in all, relatively functional. And slowly making progress on the hard drive cage for the server.
That's your proof? Did you hear that? Proxy hiding in the bamboo. She spent years.
Hard drive cage, yeah. The computer case that I got for my server that I was building, I think I talked about it a time or two previously. It was the case was just like a standard computer case. It's a mid-tower ATX sized case, so the thing is enormous. Not nearly as big as the small refrigerator sized thing that we're currently streaming from, but that server, because it was designed more for general computing use and not for server use, which a computer or device running as a server produces a lot more heat, and since the drives and stuff are oftentimes running at full throttle for extended periods of time, and platter-based drives, when they get warm, they lose efficiency and can also end up with unstable data and that sort of thing, which on a server situation, especially where I'm using it as a personal file server, it's not a great feature to have. So I've been trying to the place that I had planned on putting the drives, the cages that I had wouldn't fit, and the internet does not make hard drive cages that would hold hard drives and also be able to mount in the way that I wanted them to mount. So I'm in the process of slowly fabricating one out of steel bar stock and plexiglass. I've got the side panels out of plexi, and it can technically hold up to 11 drives based on the mounting holes, but that would be pushing it as far as the airflow efficiency. So I've got it set so it'll be 2 fans tall, 240 millimeter fans tall, and then it'll hold a total of 6 drives. So it'll be three drives spread out across each of the fans, which leaves basically a drive's thickness of gap between each drive. So there's plenty of room for airflow to flow through. And then I can mount the fans directly on the end of the drives and either pull fresh air in through the drives to keep them cool, or push internal air out through the drives to push all that heat away. And so it's been a process, and the first sheets of plexi that I used the gas stove and a yeah, nobody likes a server that gets too hot and catches on fire. It's perfect for roasting weenies. The first set of plexi that I shaped, because part of it I didn't want to have to glue the plexi, because that's going to introduce a potential weak spot, and it's a pain to get everything shaped right. So my plan was to bend it, because the side panels are going to be straight, and then on the ends they're going to bend outward slightly, just wide enough to be able to mount the fans to it and to mount it to the inside of the server case. So I had to heat those to bend it. Well, I didn't have a hot wire, which is designed for bending acrylic or plexiglass, so I had to make one. And I did that by folding up a piece of thick aluminum foil and then folding it into kind of a triangle or a teepee shape, more of a triangle, a tent shape, not a teepee, and splitting the fold in the center and setting it on top of my gas stove and turning the gas stove on. It was a little sketchy, but it actually worked really, really well because it concentrated the heat to kind of a linear space. I did have a fire extinguisher close by, so there was no significant risk of that. Not recommending anyone else try that, just throwing that out there. I bear no responsibility for your own actions. And so I got it bent and got it good. And then I drilled the holes in it so I could mount the drives to it. Well, the problem I ran into is I didn't line them all up at the same time. So I started in the middle, since my measurements were a little bit weird and they weren't exactly to what the specs I had. So if I started from the edge, it was going to be off because I overestimated my sizing. So I started from the center. I marked my center lines, and then I marked my center lines on my drive and lined it up, and then marked my mounting holes and started there. And then after I got the first one in, I just installed it onto the side panels and then slid another drive on top of it and used that as a reference, so I could just mark each progressive set, which was great in theory, but somehow I managed to get it really, really far off. And by the time, of course, the two panels would normally be sitting straight, right, for a terrible representation. Let me use Cosmo and Wanda here. They would normally be sitting straight, lined up with each other. Well, they ended up so they were like twisted from each other, so it was sitting on opposite corners of each side, which turns out it does not. You're learning things. It's good. It turns out that does not work very well for both sitting flat or installing all the drives, because the holes were made vertically in line, and then once all the panels were crooked, it didn't line up anymore. So unfortunately I had to get a new set of plexi, which was relatively cheap. The hardware was actually way worse than the plexi was, and rebend it and drill holes. But I got smart and I did this number. If you look long enough on the internet, you can find things, not weird things. Remember, family friendly. But you can find the schematic for the hard drives that you're using. In my case, this was a Seagate Iron Wolf 8 terabyte drive. And I just took the image and repeated it a bunch of times on a piece of paper so I could print it out, and I just made sure that the images on the document were full scale, so the size of this perfectly matches the size of my drive. And then I could take this and I could tape it inside of my plexiglass that I now have built already. Let me get that going through there. Yeah. 8 terabytes. Yeah, that's honestly, it's kind of small. I mean, if I get all of the drives in there, yeah, it'll be a big boy. But right now, it's only got a couple of them in there because it is they're expensive. drives are not cheap. But eventually, I mean, the cool thing, because the software I'm using to run the server, it's called Unraid. It's not exactly a RAID setup, but it's the software that allows you to basically set up a server. And it's got a interface that you can access through your network. And you don't have to, most servers you have to have all the same size drives throughout. So if you've got 8 terabyte drives and you want to upgrade, you have to swap all of them out, or you won't be able to use any more than just 8 terabytes on that 12 terabyte drive or the 20 terabyte drive or that sort of thing. With Unraid, you don't have to have the same size drives. You can just pop them all in there, and then the software says, oh, okay, we have this total available space. And this area is, if you have parity set up, which is just a dedicated drive that collects information from all the drives. And if one of your drives goes down, fails or goes offline, it has enough data references stored on that parity drive to be able to restore that drive once you install a new drive in there. So it's kind of a data redundancy check in a sense. It keeps you from losing too much data. And the number of parity drives corresponds to the number of drives you can lose simultaneously and still be able to repair them. So if you have 2 parity drives, you can have 2 of your data drives go offline and still be able to restore all that data to your new drives. So yeah, but the 1-to-1 ratio on the image, so I had a map, then I just went through, once I had it all taped up onto the Plexi and lined up my drill bit on those spots, which I found out you don't want to drill Plexi in a hole that's already drilled with a larger bit to make it larger, because the Plexi does not like it. It just wants to break. If you're going to do a larger, you kind of need to know what size of hole you're doing from the start. Otherwise, things go bad. And I still ended up with a bunch of them cracking. I'm hoping I put some CA glue into the cracks, hoping that will fix it, or at least stabilize it enough that it doesn't continue busting out on me. The nice thing, there's not really going to be tension on the holes where the hard drives are mounted, because I got a set of rubber grommets that are actually going to tuck into those holes, and then the mounting screws will go through that. The pressure will be on the rubber grommets, which will make it softer on the Plexi sides. And then on top of that, all of the cross bracing is made out of steel. So one side of it will be mounted to steel plates or steel bars, as well as the fan. So it's going to be nice and secure. But yeah, all in all, it's slowly coming along. And the biggest challenge at this point is I've got all the drive mounting holes done. And then when I transferred, because there's 2 sides to it, and getting them lined up is essential, because your drives don't have room to offset if you're screwing into the same drive panel. So I just took the side that I completed and flipped it over and put it up against the other side, so they're basically touching together the way that they will stand when they got drives between them, which tells me that the holes line up where the holes need to be. And then just drilled holes to mark through the one side that's already pierced. Oh yeah. Now, literal weeks or borderline months of trying to plan this out. The various schematics have got over here. This was let me make sure all this can be showed on the recording. This was my knock to a fan pulling all of the schematics for it so I could get the right measurements on it. Of course, I've got 4 sides of this this layout because I didn't know how many directions I was going to need for it. I've got 2 or 3 pages of notes. This was my this was my original map for the side panel. It's kind of hard to see in the little corner, but is basically all of the individual drives manually mapped out on 2 sheets of paper. And then that was what ended up getting me slightly confused or slightly off on my stuff. But this was the thing. I was going to make it a lot easier and just use this feller. This was actually one. It's a hot swap drive bay that comes out of the refrigerator sized tower that we're currently streaming from. And the plan was just to pop this in there. And I was hoping to buy a few extra ones of these, and then I just stick them right in. Be good to go. One, Thermal Take doesn't sell these individually, and everybody's upset about it because they don't send enough to fill up your massive tower. Just normally, if you're using it not for server related things, and also for things like that. If you want to use it for another project, you simply can't because they don't exist. And the suggestion somebody got from the company when they asked Thermal Take if they sold them was buy another case, which is like $700, and just pull the bays out of it from there and use them. It was bizarre, but all in all, it's coming together, and exactly, buy another case. But yeah, it'll be good. The biggest problem is the server can't live on the floor behind me right now. I mean, that's where it lives currently, but in the long term, I'm gonna have to maybe move the printer around or something over there so it's got a stable spot that's out of the way. But I also need to get a uninterruptible power supply, because it turns out that servers don't like to be spontaneously disconnected from power. It tends to cause data issues as well. But it doesn't use a lot of power when it's idle, so it's not going to take too much of a power supply to handle that. You also have a server, much simpler than mine, that runs the stock trading software you coded. Software is what funds your donations. That's awesome. It has a backup PSU. Yep, that's very cool. That you not only that you coded the software yourself, and that you got that running. That having the backup power supply is just vital on anything that's, especially if it runs things in RAM, which the Unraid software, it runs 100% off from a USB drive. The entire operating system is USB drive based, so it's all running in flash memory. So if you suddenly take power away from that, the system gets very upset. And I mean, a time or two, it probably won't hurt it necessarily, but if it happens a lot, or if it's in the middle of a significant data transfer, the system will not be happy. Yeah. But it's been tons of fun. I've kind of stayed away from anything networking based in the majority of my computer stuff up until now, and then I went and did this, and it's like, hey, look, you get to configure stuff on your network and now troubleshoot why you can't broadcast your data from your phone into the server when you're connected, because ports and IP addresses and all this stuff that I did not want to ever get involved with. But eventually it came together, and it functions. So all my photos and stuff on my phone, as long as I connect to my network that I have everything tied to and that I have the server on, because right now, since the fan is currently, or one of the fans is currently on the floor behind me, is out here. It doesn't keep the server cool very well when it's not in the server. So the server is currently offline for a bit, but when everything's up and running, the all my photos and everything, my documents and stuff off my main phone automatically get processed there once a day to a temp storage on the server, and then the server's got a scheduled routine where it goes through and it checks that folder and pulls a copy into the array, because the program that I use to connect my phone to the server with the data sharing, it's a sync program. What am I going to use the server for? Mostly, especially starting out, it's just going to be a file server. It's going to store my photos, my documents, my potentially my backlog for, or my backup for unexpectedly random, all of my archive. I mean, right now I have a 12 terabyte external drive that's holding all of my basically my entire YouTube library, everything that I've ever uploaded to YouTube, all the raw footage, all of the thumbnails and all of that crazy stuff. And it's getting full. Which, I mean, it's only like, what, 6 or 7 years of footage between posting and the early years of direct to YouTube, and then the stuff that we've been streaming, which have every time I broadcast, the data gets larger, more complex, more larger files. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, initially it's just going to be a file server, place to store stuff, place to get my photos and stuff off from the Google Cloud, because that's currently where most of that's backed up to. And then if Google decides, hey, we're not going to have Google One anymore, good luck finding a home for your 100 gigabytes of photos that you have on here, then I've got it in there. You don't trust Google. That's a fair take. Even though they say your stuff's private, you know it's not. There's a certain degree of it. Even if it's just anonymous data that they've taken from it, it's still stuff that they have. And stuff randomly disappears. That's true. And people have, I mean, I've heard complaints and stuff about it too. And granted, you can have that some with, what was it called? Data decay? Data rot, which, I mean, is more for drives that are stored offline, like cold storage drives, but you can have some of that even on your own servers. But it's there's just something reassuring about, hey, I have this unit that has all my stuff in it, and I don't have to worry about downloading it or losing quality trying to transmit it from Google servers back to mine, or from Yahoo servers to mine, or whatever other file hosting, Microsoft servers, I guess, with like OneNote and OneDrive. Which, actually, that's a good point. I probably need to check that and make sure I have those downloaded too. But long term, as far as the server goes, it may be a media server as well, where I may take my movie collection, or even potentially my game collection, and digitize them, because according to the Digital Media Copyright Act, you do have a license to create a copy of purchased media for the purposes of backup and recovery, effectively. So we might go that route and store a copy of it there, and then theoretically I could use my physical media as my backup version, and then I could use the stuff on the server to access from any device on my network, whether it be playing it or streaming or broadcasting a movie to another room or whatever. That way, it'd be pretty cool that way too. I saw somebody said that you could host with this. You can host your own Minecraft servers. Not that that's necessarily something that I would need to do, because you don't really need to have a server if you're doing solo worlds. But that was a thing that was brought up, but yeah, primarily file storage, and that's about as far as I plan to head on that.
You'd rather believe those visions of your teammates are real-time projections than accept that they're dead. What if I told you the way
Definitely a fun project.
deaths before was the absolute truth? Will you finally face reality? Or will you keep fooling yourself, believing in ghosts? I guess you'll keep deceiving yourself, because that's how you survive.
I'm not lying to myself. I really
Want to find your squad mates who have been missing for years and were officially declared dead? You couldn't protect them when the old capital fell, and now you're just making up stories to fool yourself. Give yourself some so-called reason to go on. Latch on to any stupid excuse. You're just a selfish, naive coward who did nothing and couldn't do anything when your comrades were dying.
I don't know why this Grim Vulture is so vindictive, but I'm not real thrilled with it. Charon stands there, speechless. Grim Vulture's relentless verbal assault has clearly struck home. The little color that had briefly returned to her face drains away, leaving her visibly shaken, unable to muster a single word in rebuttal.
Giving up already? At least you've got a shred of dignity left. Nothing disgusts me more than a useless hypocrite. Enough of this. Time to die, coward.
Let's go pluck this vulture. Charon is not a coward.
Charon is not a coward. Someone who'd enter perilous hollows just to find what they seek. Someone who'd play music to console a dying soul, despite the pain in their eyes, is anything but a coward. At the very least, she's far braver than a criminal like you, who hides in the shadows, enjoys torturing others, and is constantly in fear of being caught.
Proxy,
Your proxy sure has a way with words. I won't waste any more of my breath. Just die already.
Analysis of surrounding fissures complete.
I've completed analysis of the surrounding fissures. Charon, snap out of it. We can use that fissure to escape.
Fissures? When did you... Still trying to play tricks.
Uh-huh. With no hope of a counterattack, you practically drag Charon, returning to run towards the fissure that has escaped Grim Vulture's notice. Just as the bullet is about to strike, you manage to escape through the fissure. Yikes. You escape from the hollow and return to the video store, bringing along Charon, who's lost all will to fight. She seems more traumatized than you imagined, repeatedly touching her eyes, silent and distant.
Charon, do you want some hot cocoa? I'm sure you're exhausted after such a tough fight. You should get some rest.
thanks, but I'm fine.
Don't let Grim Vulture get to you.
Don't listen to Grim Vulture. They'd say anything to get under your skin. Once we start doubting the truth, we've fallen into their trap.
No, Proxy. I think Grim Vulture has a point. Maybe it's all just in my head. The things Grim Vulture left. When I touched them, I was reminded of the day the old capital fell. I felt the same sensation when I touched an injured comrade. I tried to shake off that feeling, but the truth is, I can't stop thinking about the possibility that all my squad mates are dead.
What happened back then?
Would you be willing to share more? What really happened to you and Liar Squad on the day the old capital fell?
That day, in the first hour Hollow Zero started expanding, Defense Force HQ thought it was just a normal Hollow disaster, and thought they could suppress it with a standard amount of troops. Liar Squad was among the first troops sent there. Before we left, our superiors promised reinforcements would be on the way to support us in combat, so we didn't need to worry too much about facing the Ethereals. But soon after we began the mission, we realized things weren't going to go like we thought. The Ethereals came at us like an endless tide. The Hollow expanded beyond control, and more importantly, the reinforcements never came. The Defense Force troops outside the Hollow soon realized this was no ordinary disaster. Hollow Zero was devouring Eridu at horrifying speed. The reinforcement plan was called off, and the promised troops retreated. Honestly, even if they had come to help, it wouldn't have changed anything. I watched as members of the advanced force around me died one after another, or were corrupted into Ethereals. Our squad slowly lost the strength to maintain formation. I was a weak point in our formation. An ether shot fired by an Ethereal hit my eyes, corrupting them. Because of that and several other wounds, I shortly lost consciousness. I'm not sure how long I was out, but just before losing my vision, I briefly regained consciousness. The last thing my eyes saw was my squad mate standing in front of me, looking back. When I woke up again, I was already back at base. The higher-ups detonated the Shiryu pillars, and finally managed to bring Hollow Zero under control. I don't know who rescued me from the Hollow, but none of my squad mates had made it out. For some reason, the image of my squad mates being the last thing I saw has stayed in my mind. It must be some kind of sign. A sign that they're still alive. Don't you think? They must have continued fighting after I fell unconscious, eventually getting lost in some hollow and losing contact with the main force, left to wander between the various hollows of New Eridu. That must have been what happened, right? The Defense Force, civilians, no one believes me. So I decided to find them myself. The reason behind these eyes, it's got to be to guide me to finding them still alive. Am I wrong, Proxy? Are these eyes pointless? I knew that's what you thought. Interpreting what my eyes see as proof my squad mates are still alive is just wishful thinking. But if they're really gone, why would I have been given these eyes, which bring nothing but pain? If they're truly no longer alive, how can I apologize to them in person? Tell them I'm sorry. Sorry for being so weak. Sorry that I failed to protect them. Their faces are all so blurry. I can't see their expressions. I can't even bear to look at them. If their final look at me was filled with resentment and disappointment, I wouldn't know how to handle it.
Wipe Karen's tears away.
Charon, listen to me. Even if everyone else thinks you're wrong, Wise and I will never dismiss your determination to find your squad mates. You don't need to make any justifications, because someone close to us is missing too, and we desperately hope she's still alive. Even if the whole world doesn't understand, we will never give up. But I also think being consumed by this obsession, unable to move forward, that's not what those who matter to us would want.
Belle is right. Listen, Charon, you're such a kind person. Maybe that's why you feel responsible for protecting everyone and blame yourself when you can't do enough. but you don't have to carry it all on your own.
We'll stick with you to the end.
Yeah. Right now, the best thing you can do is trust us. We can be sure that Vulture hasn't killed the client yet. As long as we have that lead, there's still hope. We'll support you. No one can dismiss your determination or will. No matter how things turn out, we'll stand by your side and we'll face it together.
Proxy, thank you. I feel better now. At the very least, I want to keep investigating. I'm not just going to stop here.
Yay. With the tension easing, it's time to discuss the plan going forward. Just then, the phone rings.
Sorry to disturb you at this hour. Did you go investigate that new hollow? How's it going? Oh, never mind. The client just shared a new location with me on Knock Knock.
They're pretty eager, huh? Which hollow is it this time?
Fun twist, what if the client that's not responding to him except for to send these locations is Grim Vulture? And that I genuinely don't know. But it seems plausible, given what we've seen.
No, it's not a hollow. If I'm reading this right, this location is Scott Outpost.
Ooh. A twist.
Scott Outpost? Isn't that managed by the Defense Force and White Star Institute? What's Grim Vulture up to?
So it kind of seems like they're assuming the client is Grim Vulture. At least
It's Remembrance Day.
contact.
Don't you recall what Aaron said before? They're holding an event right now, and the place will be open to the public.
So we aren't being lured into a hollow.
So, they're not trying to lure us into a hollow this time. What's the deal? Are they trying to taunt us?
Whether it's a provocation or a trap, I'm not missing any chance to face Grim Vulture. Proxy, will you go with me?
Yes, of course. The official commencement of the Remembrance Day has been scheduled for tomorrow morning, meaning ordinary citizens still cannot freely enter Scott Outpost today. Under arrangements, Charon spent the night at the store. The next morning, Belle, you'll be heading to the outpost with Charon today, soon. Did you sleep well last night? I didn't sleep much. Actually, me too. Thoughts of the past kept me up, especially those related to Charon, and I didn't manage to fall asleep until late. Oh, Charon is already waiting for you in the parking lot. I wonder how she's feeling now. Please take good care of her, Belle. Leave it to me. I was kind of hoping we were at a break in the story and could start things up there. Good morning, Proxy. Did you sleep well? Yes, I did. Sorry, Proxy, for losing my composure in front of you yesterday. I think I've gotten my mood back in order now. Stare. It seems I can't hide it from you, Proxy. I'm sorry. I think I'm still struggling to process this sadness and unease. I'm not sure where I should go from here. Take your time to unravel your confusion. Let's find a way forward together. Yeah, you're right. Instead of continuing to suffer, it's better to reach out and grasp all the hope we can find around us. Maybe things will eventually change. Let's go, Proxy. Today we're attending Remembrance Day as ordinary citizens, so we can't carry any weapons. I suppose Grim Vulture wouldn't be foolish enough to make a move inside a military stronghold? Yeah, I wouldn't count on that, necessarily. Let's keep an eye out while we're there. I believe we should be able to find new clues. You arrive at Scott Outpost with Charon. Many citizens have come to Remembrance Day. They must be the relatives of those who gave their lives during the fall of the old capital. For some reason, after coming here, Charon has been acting a bit strange. Proxy, can we explore this place later? What's wrong? No, it's nothing. Stare. Alright, I'll say it. It seems like there are some familiar faces here. Wouldn't it be nice to meet them? I don't think I can face them. If I'm not mistaken, they should be the family members of my teammates. I don't know how I should face them. Try reaching out to them. I know. But I'll be there for you. Then it's a deal. I'll go and talk to them. Proxy, you don't have to say anything, just stay by my side and give me the courage to speak. I will be there. Oh, let's start over here. Ooh, the edges of Hollow Zero are looking especially shiny today. Hello, Alan. Are you Alan? I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Acheron's brother? How did you know? Who are you? Wait, your eye cover. So you're Acheron's sole surviving teammate. I remember you. We met once after the fall of the old capital. After that, I didn't hear anything about you again. I never expected to meet you here. This plushie? Oh, this one. It's Acheron's favorite plushie. She always kept it in the most prominent spot in her room. I brought it along here, as if bringing my sister's shadow to participate in Remembrance Day. It's so sad. I'm sorry, Mr. Allen. You don't need to apologize. I still remember one time when my sister came home excitedly, telling me that a shy new girl had joined the squad. That girl didn't speak much, but she was beautiful in battle. That was the happiest I had ever seen her. To her, you were a presence that inspired admiration and a desire not to fall behind. A beautiful soldier who gave her the drive to keep moving forward. You don't have to apologize to me. If my sister were here, she would surely say the same thing. This is not going to help my cough at all. Please, don't mind me too much. The Defense Force has made a lot of preparations for the Remembrance Day event. Please take your time here. Zeta and Sally. Wait a moment. That eye cover, that blonde hair. Could you be my husband's, Styx's teammate? Styx. Are you Miss Sally, Styx's wife? Yes. My daughter and I came to attend Remembrance Day. The last time I saw you was right after the fall of the old capital. Never expected to see you again here today. Your daughter? Is this your daughter, Zeta? Mom, who is she? Zeta, This is your dad's comrade from the Defense Force. Every time he went to the battlefield, she would be there to protect him. To protect him? Comrade? If that's so, why didn't you... Oh, no. Why didn't you protect my dad during the fall of the old capital? Why did you let him die and make him unable to come back to me? I mean, understandable response, but also, ouch. Zeta! I'm sorry. I couldn't protect him. I'm sorry. Don't listen to what Zeta is saying. She doesn't understand. We never blamed you. Please don't say that. Zeta, you can't say such hurtful things. Apologize right now. Why should I apologize? She survived, but Dad didn't. Isn't that the truth? If it weren't for her abandoning him, Dad could have come back safely. Enough. You don't know what happened back then. Mrs. Sally, I don't think she's wrong. Please don't think that way. I'll make sure to bring her to apologize to you later. I need to explain to her what really happened. I'm really sorry. Please don't let us keep you. Go and explore Remembrance Day event for now. Please remember, all your comrades, including my husband, would want you to see the hope they left behind. Ouch is all I have to say. Ouch. My son, can you see me now? I'm doing well. My legs and feet are fine. I just miss you so much. Excuse me, are you... And I'm gonna mispronounce this one too. Was it Cositis? I think it was Cositis. Are you Cositis' mother, Ethel? Oh, you are... Oh, I recognize you. I saw you once in the military camp, after the fall of the old city. You're Cositis' teammate, one of the survivors. I've been wanting to get in touch with you over the years to see how you've been, but I've never heard from you. I didn't expect to meet you here at Remembrance Day. I guess this is fate. Mrs. Ethel, is your health still... I'm in good health, fortunately. Everything is fine. Although I'm the only one left in the family, the pension from the government is enough. And I still have some years in me. I'm sorry. Cositis, he... Child. You don't need to apologize. My son may appear carefree on the surface, but he's always felt so much pressure. One day, he suddenly told me that he had found a companion who truly understood him. I believe he was talking about you. How could I possibly blame you, someone who helped my son? It's such a blessing. You, a kind-hearted person, are alive and standing here today. I'm so glad. Mrs. Ethel, Child, don't worry about me. Since you're here for Remembrance Day, take your time to walk around and look around. I hope you find something meaningful. I think she's already found several things that are very meaningful. To your surprise, many relatives of deceased Liar Squad members are here for the Remembrance Day event. Is this really just a coincidence? As you ponder the question, the relatives have gathered in front of Kara.
Miss, I'm sorry for being mean to you before. Mom told me you were protecting Dad until the very last moment before you passed out. I shouldn't have said you left him to die.
I'm really sorry.
Zeta was really young when it happened, so she was too little to understand, and I haven't really talked about it. I hope she didn't upset you.
No, she was right. If only I'd been strong enough to take down most of the Ethereals. Maybe they wouldn't have ended up in that situation.
Oh, that's not fair. The old capital was falling. No single person's strength could ever be the deciding factor in the face of a disaster like that.
In spite of it all, you survived. If they were still here, I'm sure they'd see that as something to celebrate.
I've always known the truth. I failed to protect them. A weakling like me survived, and the rest of them disappeared without a trace. This isn't solace. It's the worst possible outcome. That's something I can't face. I've never had the courage to tell you I couldn't protect your loved ones. All I can do is wander New Eridu, hoping to find some trace of them. Even after all this time, I still haven't accomplished anything. I'm sorry.
You really don't know us at all. This isn't the worst possible outcome by any means. Styx, my husband, and all his comrades who lost their lives, each one of them left behind their own legacy. Just look all around you. Everyone standing before you is a legacy they protected that is carried on to this day. After my husband passed away, Zeta and I received survivor benefits, and with all the odd jobs I've been doing, we've managed to get to where we are today. Styx always wanted our daughter to study art, and Zeta's interested in it too. Now, that dream has become a reality. She just got accepted into the art school in Janus Quarter.
Mom and I have our tough days, but I often think of Dad's cheerful laughter, and that memory gives me the strength to keep pushing through. One day, it'll all pay off, just like it has now.
Thank you for always being by my husband's side, even at the very end.
Well, I suppose you must have heard about my condition from my son.
Ethel, Cocytus used to tell me about you. He often took leave or skipped work to earn extra money by part-timing, or to care for you when you were sick in bed.
Yes, that's true, but I bet he never told you my illness became so bad that I needed major surgery, and he worked his tail off to raise the money. Who would have thought he would pass before me? I used the benefits from his death for the surgery, and that's the only reason I'm here today. In a way, his passing allowed my life to continue. Every time I think about it, I feel like I need to keep my body healthy and live a few more years. The sights I see, I believe he can sense them from somewhere far away. When I was too weak to take care of him, it was you and your comrades who stayed by his side. Thank you for everything that you've done for him.
As for me, well, I'm currently working as a fashion designer.
A fashion designer? Is that because of Acheron?
Acheron. I got that one right.
It is. I'm sure you remember how much she loved beautiful things. She was always into fashion, so I decided to become part of that world. That way, she can always be with me. I admit I had no idea how fun fashion design could be until I actually gave it a shot. I wish I'd figured that out sooner. We would have had so much more to talk about. Anyway, I'm planning to start my own fashion brand next year. She used to say that after retiring from the army, she wanted to pursue fashion design. I really want to carry on her dream. It feels like my life's purpose. You know, she used to talk about you when she came home for the holidays. how your rivalry pushed her to keep improving. So, thank you. I'm proud of my sister, and I'm proud of you, too.
As you can see, all of us have made it to this day, carrying the will of those we loved. So please don't say they left nothing behind. They've always been a part of every pain and joy we've experienced over the years. Please remember, everything and everyone in New Eridu is only here today because you all risked your lives in battle.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's been wonderful to hear about how you're all doing and to listen to these words. I'm so glad I decided to come here on Remembrance Day.
Speaking of which, I wasn't expecting to see any of you. What brings you here today?
I could ask you the same thing, Ethel. Last time I asked, you said you weren't coming. I only came because I suddenly got a DM from Nathan. He said he really wanted me to be here.
I'm here because of Nathan's message, too. He was pretty insistent, so I thought he'd be here. But I've been looking around for a while now. I still haven't seen him.
Nathan?
So it's the same for all of us. I responded to his message, but he never wrote back. Isn't that strange?
Sorry, but who's this Nathan you're talking about?
Nathan is Lethe's younger brother. Frankly, out of all of us, he's probably the one who wants to see you the most. He used to be part of the defense force himself, and...
The day the old capital fell, his squad was responsible for supporting the forces that had already entered the Hollow, which included all of you. He's told us that story so many times. When they saw how bad things were in that Hollow, some of the reinforcements called off their plans and pulled back. He tried to stop them, but there was nothing he could do.
He always blamed himself and wanted to find you to apologize. But the truth is, the reinforcements retreating was inevitable. Shortly after their retreat, headquarters issued the official order. We all lost someone in that disaster. And for a while, we resented the reinforcements for their decision. But over time, we came to understand it, and we eventually let it go. There was no avoiding casualties in that battle. In hindsight, it wasn't wrong for headquarters to prioritize saving their strength.
May I ask what the name of Nathan's squad was when he was in the defense force?
The Impera squad of the Obsidian Division. Is something wrong?
Nothing. It's just... I think I might have stumbled upon the answer I was looking for.
After 4 family members paid their respects and left, they continued touring on Remembrance Day. Charon stood there in a daze, seemingly having understood something. At that moment, a sound came from the open space in front of the outpost. It seemed like someone had stepped onto the podium, and the citizens all gathered in the podium, preparing to listen to the person's speech. According to the schedule for Remembrance Day, it should be time for a representative of retired Defense Force veterans to give a speech. Looks like the speech is about to begin. I feel a bit concerned. Proxy, could we go over and listen to the speech for a moment? Of course.
Is that Zoe on the podium?
Zoe. Is she here to speak on behalf of the soldiers?
Is she here to speak for the soldiers? That seems fitting. She's cut metals after all. But I don't see Jesse or Aaron anywhere. Didn't they come?
Everyone please, quiet down. Zoe, of Nemesis Squad, a representative of the veterans, will now deliver the Remembrance Day speech.
Hello, everyone.
Zoe.
I'm honored to stand here and speak on behalf of all of the soldiers of the Defense Force. Today, we gather to commemorate Remembrance Day, a day born from the tragedy of the old capital's fall. Many of us lost relatives or friends in the disaster, and I am no exception. Every member of my squad perished in that battle, leaving me as the only survivor. Losing the friends you cherish to the Hollow is a pain that never fades. It's a sorrow that will stay with us, now and forever. However, to the families of the fallen soldiers, hold your heads high with pride for your loved ones who gave their lives. They fought to the very last moment when the old capital fell. Death isn't the end, nor dishonor. It is their eternal medal. They gave their lives facing an unstoppable disaster, exchanging their sacrifice for the world we have today. In doing so, they fulfilled their duties as soldiers to perfection. Without the blood they spilled, Eridu would not have endured, and new Eridu would never have risen from the ashes. In honor of the wishes of the departed, look ahead, people of New Eridu. Our thoughts and remembrance of those who passed will be carried in every flicker of candlelight and in every bouquet of flowers.
They added a Y onto her name. Zoe's speech is met with a wave of prolonged applause. Yet, amidst the claps, she droops her head, her expression darkening. She stays silent, waiting for the applause to fade before lifting her gaze and scanning the crowd. Her eyes pause briefly on Charon, carrying a chilling aura. Now this would be a twist.
My speech was meant to end here, but since you all seem quite engaged, please allow me to share a little more. The reason you all agree with what I've said is because it offers a way to step away from the pain. That's what the living do. They seek ways to ease the weight of others' deaths, so they can find a way to start over. This is the new Eridu of today. A huge disaster consumed the old capital, and the people who survived it keep saying things like, treasure the moment and start fresh to numb themselves, hoping to forget the nightmare. No one talks about the soldiers who gave their lives in Hollow Zero. No one asks why they had to die. The brave gave their lives battling the ethereal onslaught, while the weak survived.
I'm beginning to think that this might be a Grim Vulture, and that us finding her in the Hollow was just a ploy to disguise herself.
This is new Eridu, built by weaklings. Its order founded upon their way of thinking. Your applause makes me realize you all accept this logic. Each of you had loved ones who sacrificed their lives in the fall of the old capital. And now, you're thankful that someone has encouraged you to move on from them. What meaning does the sacrifice of those who died have if you all choose to forget? Have you never thought about why your own loved ones had to die? And why no one is responsible for their deaths?
Miss Zoe, there's not much time left for your,
Defense Force soldier maintaining order.
Open your eyes! I'm speaking to those who have lost loved ones! If death is the medal for the fallen, then pain is the cross the living must bear. If you fear its weight and run from the suffering, the soldiers will never find peace in their eternal rest. To tear the wound open once again, so you'll never forget the searing pain! That's the real meaning of Remembrance Day!
I mean, she talks about they're all trying to forget the people that they've lost, when in reality, the whole point of Remembrance Day is remembering the people that they've lost.
I don't agree.
Charon, I didn't expect you to be here for Remembrance Day. How are things going with your search? Seems like you have something to say.
Somebody had to offer a rebuttal to that.
Among the people standing here, there's a woman who raised her daughter with the survivor benefits left by her husband. Another who's been able to carry on with her life thanks to the final efforts of her child. And yet another who's found purpose because of the influence of his late sister. The will of the deceased lives on in every person here. The soldiers who died during the fall of the old capital fought for this. The future that their loved ones are making for themselves now. The old me might have agreed with what you said, but someone taught me that pain and hardship can lead to hope. They helped me see that hope could be inherited, not just destroyed when life fades. That's why I believe the departed didn't leave us wounded or with a heavy cross to bear, but with a melody. Each of us holds a harmonica that plays the melody of life. At first, it may sound awkward, but it will eventually flow smoothly, taking on our own style, until it merges with our soul.
You seem quite certain about what you're saying. Tell me then, what kind of melody is left behind by those we've lost?
I'm not sure. I can't picture the exact melody, but I trust the answer I've chosen. And I trust everything I've seen and heard.
A vague and insubstantial answer, isn't it? I was right about you, Charon. From the moment we met, I knew we'd never really understand each other.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Everyone, I apologize for taking up your time. My speech ends here. Please feel free to continue with your visit.
Zoe exits the venue without sparing a single glance back, leaving the audience and the defense force in a state of confusion. Charon looks thoughtfully in the direction she disappeared.
What do you think, Proxy?
Something's off.
Something was definitely off about her just now. And the things she said, I'm starting to get a really bad feeling about this.
You mean about her real identity, right? Looks like we're on the same page. Shielded by her identity as a decorated soldier, she seemed pretty confident that we wouldn't confront her directly on military ground like at the outpost. She arrived so brazenly and left without a care. If I'm right about this, she'll be trying to contact us again in no time.
Just as she finishes her sentence, the phone rings again. Shepard appears on the screen as you answer the call. He seems panicked and anxious to speak, but the moment he sees that you're in Scott Outpost, he swallows back the words and clears his throat instead. Not gonna tell you about being a proxy while you're standing next to the military.
Looks like you're a little busy, so I'll keep it short. The client just sent me a location via Knock Knock, along with a picture of several unconscious, tied-up individuals. I'll send you the location shortly. It should be an entrance to the Hollow in Port Elpis. At this stage, I don't have any further requests. My only hope is that you'll proceed with caution.
A location with a picture of the hostages. Looks like Grim Vulture is losing patience and wants to put an end to all this.
What do you plan on doing?
Charon, what's your plan? with everything that's happened. No matter what you choose, I'll stay by your side till the very end.
Kieran doesn't answer right away. Instead, she takes out her harmonica and looks down at it, as if she's trying to decide. In the end, she tucks her harmonic away.
I've made up my mind. Proxy, please accept my official commission. Help me venture into the depths of the Hollow to rescue the client and any other hostages. It's time to put an end to this. It's up to me to stop Grim Vulture. Stop her from crushing everything in front of her with that heavy cross.
So at this point, I think we've confirmed that Zoe is Grim Vulture. Which was not what I was initially expecting. You leave the Remembrance Day event with Karen and return to the video store. She cleans her firearm multiple times and keeps adjusting her breathing. The showdown is about to begin. Proxy, thank you for accompanying me this far. In the upcoming battle, Grim Vulture has likely already set up a stage filled with traps. We may need to brace ourselves for a tough fight. You have a strategy in mind, Karen? To be honest, there isn't a fully viable strategy. The opponent is a sniper and can keenly anticipate the timing and trajectory of each of my shots, dodging in advance. Entering the battlefield pre-prepared by such a formidable enemy alone, it's foreseeable that she will continuously occupy elevated sniper positions, relentlessly targeting us, while we will have very few opportunities to land a hit on her. Wouldn't that mean we'd be easy prey? Theoretically speaking, that's right. In a sniper duel, the one who fails to secure the best vantage point or exposes their position is always the loser. But I believe there's still a chance. In our previous fight, I could sense the pride and impatience of Grim Vulture as a sniper. I'm not sure where that impatience comes from, but that pride is definitely something we can turn against her. I believe she would never accept the idea of me surpassing her in sniping skills. If I can outmatch her at a critical moment, she will lose her composure. That will be the only instant she exposes a weakness. Proxy, this is the strategy I've chosen. Grim Vulture may indeed be the superior sniper, but I will surpass her and make this strategy succeed. To win this battle despite the overwhelming disadvantage, please entrust your back to me, Proxy. I need you, as my companion, to support. Entrust your back to me as well. Yes, I will. I will protect you, so please also provide me with your guidance. New commission is available. Piercing Rain. Grim Vulture seems to have lost patience, and Kieran has solemnly requested a commission. Let's enter the target hollow and put an end to everything. 2 boxes. Gotta keep an eye out for 2 boxes. Okay, so we're taking Trigger.
I'm at your disposal.
We're taking
Standing by.
Soldier Zero Anby.
I shall follow your orders.
And I actually don't want...
Ready and waiting.
Let's see, they were Ice Elemental. Let's take Soldier
Ready for combat.
11. But before we
Awaiting further instructions.
do, we level her up. Sure. That'll work. those. So we can't do anything else on that one.
Awaiting further instructions.
Oop.
Ready and waiting. Soldier 11, reporting.
There we go. Got the old squad back together. Well, I guess Trigger was never part of Silver Squad. She was Mobile Squad, as it says on the side of her gun there.
Charon, look! Another communicator.
Do we trust anything at this point? Okay. I pushed the right button. There we go.
Another communicator. It's a bad habit for a sniper to be so talkative.
Oh, really? I think it's rather good for my mental health to witness in real time how my target becomes desperate and gives up their struggle.
I can hear Zoe's voice in the scrambled audio there.
Do you really still need to disguise your voice? I thought you didn't want to hide anymore, Zoe.
You're right. Seems there's no need for secrecy anymore. I, Zoe, the sniper known as Grim Vulture of Nemesis Squad, send you my regards.
Zoe. No. Grim Vulture. You, like me, were one of the advanced troops deployed to suppress Hollow Zero right after the fall of the old capital, right? Noct, Cartess, and Impera Squad. So far, all the victims have been members of these squads. They were initially supposed to enter the Hollow to reinforce the advanced troops. Nemesis, your squad, lacking reinforcements, lost everyone except you in the fall of the old capital. You blamed their deaths on the absence of reinforcements and sought revenge on them. That's my conclusion. Just like me, the fall of the old capital left you entirely alone.
A sniper, the sole survivor, a mere pawn abandoned by the military. Don't you think we're very much alike? The Impera squad member, Nathan, the one you're searching for, he pleaded with me to let him go when I was about to kill him, saying he had to see you no matter what. That's how you caught my attention. I let him live to get all sorts of information on you. I was so curious about you that I even set a trap, disguising myself as a victim to get closer to you.
There it is.
It turned out we share the same story. We even got the same PTSD symptoms. After all these years, we still see images of our teammates before they die. It's impossible to erase them from our minds. It's just, you use ridiculous fantasies to numb yourself, chasing after illusions of your squad mates. While I can't afford to be as naive as you. One night, when I was overwhelmed with the unbearable images of my comrades' deaths, vomiting and crying, I finally realized the meaning behind their appearance before me. They were pleading with me, pleading for vengeance against those who abandoned us, begging me to destroy the repulsive, hypocritical new order of New Eridu. So, I carried on their will. I began kidnapping targets and sniping them in the Hollow, watching as they became corrupted and died in despair.
Do you really think this is what they'd want?
What else? Would they want me to be like you, playing at a game of finding my missing squad mates, accepting their deaths when I'm done playing, and then forgiving the very enemy who killed them? What a noble and virtuous gesture! Forgive on behalf of fallen comrades, coexist with New Eridu's order, and live peacefully among cowards. It's precisely because you and I are so similar that this hypocritical and cruel attitude makes it even harder for me to forgive you.
After our first conversation, I was certain. I must end your life myself to prove I'm right.
That's exactly what I wanted to say to you, too. Because we've suffered the same hardships, I can't accept the path of destruction you've chosen. Jesse, Aaron, Nathan, the client I've been searching for, and any other targets of revenge you've set your sights on. They all feel regret and struggle over the choices they made back then. But you can't see any of that. You didn't target the higher-ups who misjudged the situation, the dangerous Ethereals who killed your comrades, or the ones responsible for the fall of the old capital. Instead, you went after the easiest targets. Grim Vulture, as a sniper of the Eridu Defense Force, you have failed in your duty. To preserve the will and hope left by my comrades, I'm going to put an end to your actions right here.
That suits me just fine. A sniper should let the gun do the talking. Make it to the deepest part of the hollow alive, and I'll meet you with nothing but raw melon.
Should be simple enough. As long as she's not gonna
Made it here. Let's reward you with a few things you don't know. Nox, Cardus, Impura, and many other squads. Did you know the reinforcements that were meant to back us up ended up deciding to retreat?
Yes. Yes, actually I did.
Relying on a show of hands to vote, isn't that ridiculous?
There's the other box I have to open.
Our lives were discarded in such an absurd way, like a kindergarten election for class monitor.
I'm not proceeding because I don't want to lose this dialogue.
So, when I killed them, I employed the same method. I made the dozen or so people I captured vote on who I should kill first. You wouldn't believe how funny it was.
This vulture is deranged. I mean...
Laugh! Why aren't you laughing?
Because you're a lunatic.
Roger that. The enemy is ambushing. Adjusting for wind. Roger.
Was she?
Got it covered, Soldier 11. Jesse and Aaron, do you have them too? Or are they already?
I don't want to trigger that yet.
You still care about them? Or should I say... It looks like I haven't made enough of a threat to your life if you still have the time to worry about them.
Okay.
Why not leave
No.
your fate hanging as an unsolved mystery?
Okay.
Move behind me.
Normally that's more suspenseful, right?
Proceeding as ordered.
In any case, when you stumble into the underworld with your insight spilling out the two of them.
Nice try. Flip a switch.
Would it be more exciting to wait until then to reveal the answer?
Show no mercy.
Those two morons are so stupid. Oh, it's hilarious. I pretended to fit in, and they treated me as one of their own.
It's over! Time to pin them down.
chaos.
By the time the rain stops, the only thing left will be your cold. I wonder, do you remember the weather on the day the old
Ending is so
capital
quick.
fell?
Okay, where is... Thought I heard my box I need to unlock. There it is.
Rain like now, but the sky just started.
Got it.
Both your teammates and mine. They all perished.
This looks like our final battle.
You made it. Part of the hollow. Such determination deserves praise. Now, time for the final showdown to agree on.
Got it. Wanna recharge? This is your requiem.
But really, foolish is the only way to put it. What sniper would ever confront their enemy head on? I've prepared a little gift for you. I made dangerous Ethereal I have done in corrupting a high-ranking officer. It wasn't easy luring it here. You can play with it for a while.
Flame?
As for me, I'll watch you from above. Then I'll put a bullet right through your heart.
My bullets are one with the wind. Target spotted. Wanna recharge? This is your requiem.
Took that shot. Oh, whoa.
Ether vision activate.
The real failure as a sniper is the one who's been forced into a corner, like you!
The wind. It's shifting.
I won't fall for your distractions so easily.
Haha. Get distracted.
I will surpass you.
Quick time event.
My own melody of victory. And let the wind
Ooh.
be the opening notes. Karen, no, wake up, Karen.
Yeah, it's non-fatal. It's in the shoulder at most.
What's this?
Nice, the harmonica. I mean, sad that it's damaged, but also essentially her comrade saved her. After the gunshot, the hollow falls silent once more, leaving only the countless biting raindrops, attempting over and over to wash away the scent of blood that oozed from the wounds of the defeated, only to fail time and time again. The loser pays no attention to her mortal wound, only staring at the distant horizon, as though salvation might be waiting there. Sometime later, the victor has climbed the steel and stands in front of her. They share their last words while the defeated still has the energy to converse. Wow. Just a moment. Okay.
Just you? Where's your friend, the Proxy?
It's not even a fatal shot, really. It shouldn't be. It's upper right shoulder.
The Proxy went to rescue the hostages. I want to speak with you alone. A sniper should always monitor the changes to their surroundings, factoring the environment into their tactics. Being blinded by the intent to kill and failing to take this into account was your downfall.
Didn't expect to be lectured by a youngster. What a disgrace. When my view was blocked, I realized you'd used the visual blind spot to reposition. So I adjusted my aim accordingly. But I still couldn't hit you.
I mean, you did. You put a pretty significant hole in her, her banner there. I'm not sure what that would be. Her armor.
Your prediction and accuracy were spot on. I was just saved once again by this. By both this harmonica and by my former comrades.
Are you trying to say that this is destiny? That it's the will of my companions guarding me? I lost to the wave of Ethereals, to the military's betrayal. And now I lose to your reckless actions, driven by some ridiculous fantasy. Your fantasy, your attitude, your very existence, and the outcome of this battle. They are the greatest denial and insult to my revenge.
Yet you're emitting a much calmer ether energy now. Almost as if you found relief.
My vision is fading. I can't see my comrades on the brink of death anymore. My wounds are fatal, but I don't feel any pain. Relief. It's not such a bad thing.
I still don't see how that's a fatal shot. I mean, unless I guess maybe she caught a decent artery there, but otherwise that's not, there's not a lot of vital organs in the shoulder. Just maybe the brachial artery, I think, runs through that. It's the same one that feeds your arms. I think that's one. I'm not a anatologist. I know that's not a word, but
Did you intend for me to kill you from the start?
maybe she just wanted freed from everything she'd been suffering from.
Let me answer that question with a story. The first time I saw you was actually during the fall of the old capital. My comrades were all dead, and the reinforcements the higher-ups promised before the mission never came. I can't even remember how long the fight went on. Ultimately, I had no choice but to retreat, failing to bring back my squad mates' bodies. I made my way through one battle line after another. The advanced troops were nearly wiped out. But when I reached a certain front, a small squad of survivors called out to me. Few people can still stand after such severe corruption and injury, but all 5 of them were still fighting. They were protecting a girl who had lost her sight and fallen unconscious while searching for a way out of the hollow. They told me they were beyond saving. And if I planned to retreat, I must take the girl with me. I couldn't turn down the last request of a group of heroic soldiers about to die in battle.
So she's the one that saved her.
Your comrades entrusted your life to me. I was the one who brought you out of the hollow. You already know what happened afterward. It didn't take long for you to leave the Defense Force after you came to. Just like me. I developed PTSD so intense that sometimes I couldn't even hold a normal conversation. But for me, the hardest blow was the death of my squad. To an orphan like me, they were family. If the reinforcements had kept their word and provided support, they wouldn't have died for nothing. Don't you ever have that thought?
To say I don't would be a lie, but I think deep down you know. From the moment we stepped into the Hollow, there was no way we were getting saved. Given how quickly the Hollow was spreading, and the ever-increasing number of Ethereals, it would take the sacrifice of countless Defense Force troops to suppress it. It wasn't something that could have been accomplished in such a short time. The reinforcements would have only been a drop in the bucket. More sacrifices without results. Canceling the reinforcements, sending the advanced troops to rescue as many civilians as possible to minimize casualties. I think most commanders would have made the same decision.
Objective and cold logic. I understand it, of course. But when you see members of the reinforcements living happy lives years later, can you still keep your composure? I couldn't. Even if the chance was minuscule, I wanted my squad mates to survive. But they turned that chance to zero, and still have the nerve to embrace a peaceful future. I can't help but resent them. By the time I realized what I'd done, I had already taken several lives. Nathan. When I tied him up and was about to kill him, he begged me to spare him, saying he had something to give you, no matter what. That was when you re-entered my line of sight. I think I've said this before. We're very similar, yet we have completely opposite beliefs. After meeting you, I became even more certain. In the face of suffering, I chose destruction, while you were destined to choose to protect. But you're still entangled in your obsession with your squad mates. If this continues, you'll eventually sink into a void of despair. Your hope is like a bubble, ready to burst at any moment. The version of you I want to kill is the complete one, who can firmly reject my answer. If you haven't found your answer yet, then I'll be the one to push you forward. I kill you, or you end me. Either way works. But after seeing your growth, maybe I'd prefer you to step over my body. That's the final answer.
Why?
Emptiness and doubt. No matter how many targets of my revenge I took down, nothing changed. Aiming my gun at former comrades, drowning in hate and rage, all it left was a hollow emptiness. But you're different. You've gained unconditional trust from the Proxy. You have the courage to fight through my trap. And eventually, you'll have a melody that's uniquely yours. My belief has faltered. I finally remember my squad mates were fools just like you. You're right. They would never want me to become this way. And talk about carrying their cross. But in truth, I never carried their will. So be it. Take the hostage and go. villain stained with the blood of others deserves nothing but a miserable end. I'm looking forward to how long you'll be able to protect those in front of your eyes.
Charon doesn't leave. Instead, she kneels beside Grim Vulture, picks up the bullet-marked harmonica, and begins playing a melody titled Homecoming. The melody briefly takes over the roaring downpour, reaching the ears of Grim Vulture as she lies bleeding out, barely clinging to life. A faint glimmer appears in her eyes in her final moment.
It can still be played after taking a bullet. Impressive.
This is my final melody to you. No matter how miserable you've become, I'll still remember you. Remember we once shared the same path in life, but in the end, our paths diverged. Your hatred has long twisted into sin, but if not for you, I wouldn't have learned how to hate, or found the true targets of my hatred. I used to know nothing. My teammates served as my teachers and taught me so much, and I think you must be my final teacher. You taught me, in the most intense way, what hatred truly means.
Really? So you found someone you want revenge against, too. That's good.
The melody of Homecoming plays on as the girl endures the agony of her ocular rejection, struggling to make the harmonica's notes rise above the sound of the rain. As the last note fades amidst the relentless downpour, the defeated one takes her final breath. Well, that was intense. You rescue the kidnapped people, leave the Hollow, anonymously report things to public security, and update Shepard on the situation. This series of tasks that need to be done after such an intense battle leaves you dizzy. After requesting to meet the client with Shepard, you receive his message calling you to Port Elpis. Proxy, we've arrived at the port. According to Shepard, he, the client, and the rescued Jesse and Aaron should all be here. Let's go talk to them. Karen, why do you seem... something bothering you? Oh, Proxy, you noticed. Even though we defeated Grim Vulture, I can't seem to let it go. Just as I thought, when the wind changed and the falling banner blocked her vision, she could have retreated, waited for her sight to clear, and then resumed sniping. If she had done that, I would have had no chance of winning. But her pride wouldn't allow her to take an action that implicitly admitted her tactics were inferior. She still chose to engage in a shootout with me despite the blind spot. Doesn't this just prove your strategy was successful? But after realizing that she actually wanted to die, I started to wonder, was my course of action something she deliberately led me into? I would find a way to break her trap and create an opportunity for a reversal. And she was waiting for that moment, ready to test whether I had truly surpassed her through a direct confrontation. I believe that was her intention. Ooh. I don't care about the perpetrator's intentions. That's kind of rough. Her feelings must have been very complicated. Proxy, you once told me that Grim Vulture once appeared here at the port, standing by the trash can on the wooden pier, gazing out at the sea. What was she thinking back then, I wonder? Sorry, I was just talking to myself. Let's go meet the client together. He's still alive and hasn't become another of Grim Vulture's victims. I suppose that's the best news we could have. Although I already understand that the client's true identity is not my teammate, and it may not bring the hope I've longed for, I still want to face him. Alright, let's go. Strange black cat. An ordinary, unremarkable trash can. There was only one reason for stopping in front of this trash can. The first time Grim Vulture was seen disguised as an ordinary person, she was standing silently next to this trash can, gazing at the sea. Search the trash can. Lifting the lid off the trash can, among a pile of crumpled food wrappers and discarded ether batteries smelling of seawater, you find some torn pieces of paper scattered here and there. It was easy to identify them as pages from a notebook that had been deliberately torn apart. It seems that what Grim Vulture discarded in here wasn't just ether batteries. Try to piece the torn paper together. Quickly sort and piece the torn papers. Now the contents are fully readable. It seems to be a diary. Read it. The captain came to talk to me again today. Ever since I took down that elite Ethereal in the last mission, word's been spreading about Nemesis Squad having an ace sniper. It's quite troublesome. A bunch of rookies went to the captain, saying they wanted my guidance to improve their sniping skills. Are they underestimating what it means to be a sniper? Do they really think sniping is something you can just pick up whenever you feel like it? I've dedicated every waking moment of my life to training, all to become a sniper capable of taking down any target. Without the resolve to take another's life, you'll never become a proper sniper. The codename Grim Vulture represents the weight and bloodshed behind sniping. Like a vulture feeding on corpses, I hunt for death, wrapping myself in its scent. I was going to turn the captain down, but Peregrine told me I've been too tense lately, and should try accepting the captain's proposal. It would give me the chance to socialize and mingle. Well, I guess I'll think about how to teach these juniors. Though honestly, I feel like snipers should just let their guns do the talking. Read the second entry. Got a serious talking to from the captain. He asked me why my method of teaching juniors involved taking them into the hollow for live fire combat training. What if something happened to them? How could I take responsibility? Our captain's being too naive. If they choose to join the defense force, how can they protect Eridu without being prepared to put their lives on the line? Many techniques and tactics can only be awakened and understood when faced with death's door. I was teaching them through the most effective way I could think of. Besides, if they get hurt in this kind of real combat, doesn't that just prove they weren't cut out for it? To learn my skills, you need the talent to back it up. In the end, the captain called off the training, just when I was starting to enjoy teaching. Just when I was beginning to think it might not be so bad to pass my sniper skills down to some capable junior. Peregrine tried to comfort me, saying I'll have another chance to take on students someday, but who knows how long I'll have to wait, or if that student will even have what it takes. When I get to teach again, I'm definitely going to develop this training method further. I'll throw them into the hollow, make them survive my sniper fire, force them to use the environment and psychological warfare to counter me. As long as they're not too unlucky and manage to survive, they'll definitely learn everything I've got. When that time comes, Eridu will have another guardian. Heh. I'm actually looking forward to it. Come to think of it, Peregrine's been acting pretty suspiciously lately. What's that guy plotting? Third diary? After our mission, our captain and the squad called me to the dorm. When I opened the door, I saw balloons everywhere and a huge birthday cake. Turns out it was my birthday. They'd been secretly preparing this celebration for a while. Our captain apologized about the new recruit training incident from before and gave me a stunningly beautiful outfit. Everyone was chattering excitedly while sharing cake and stuffing gift boxes of all sizes into my hands. And then, Peregrine got down on one knee and proposed to me with a ring. Though I'd agreed to date him before, I never really understood all this romance stuff and stayed pretty distant with him. But he said that's exactly what he loves about me. How I'm all about sniping and a bit clumsy in everyday life. He even thinks my code name, Grim Vulture, which sounds scary to most, is cute. That idiot. He really didn't need to add that last part. Though I didn't show it then, I was actually overjoyed. With him there, with everyone from the squad, this must be the happiest moment of my life so far. Why did I have to be so shy then? To the point where I couldn't even give him an answer. Saying something like, "Let me think about it." I should find the right moment to say yes. Yeah, that's what I'll do. After we return from our next mission, I definitely want to wear that beautiful outfit and tell everyone. I know where this is going. The old diary, filled with memories of the past, comes to an abrupt end here. So, that one hurts. So he proposed to her and she didn't give him a straight answer. Swore that she would accept after their next mission, and presumably their next mission was that fateful day that they headed into the Hollows. And she never got the chance. I assume Peregrine was on her squad, and she never got the chance to accept, never got the chance to show everyone. Nothing. Shepard and Jesse seem to be exchanging tips about working in the Internaut intelligence trade. When he notices you want to talk to Jesse, Shepard cuts the conversation short, moves to a spot a bit further away. We meet again. How should I put it? You saved my life again. I really don't know how to thank you enough. Are you okay? Physically, I wasn't hurt much, but my mood is complicated. Being kidnapped by the same person twice, maybe my intellect isn't really suited for being an information broker. I'm already considering a career change. Looking back now, someone who truly wanted to kill me then and there wouldn't have deliberately knocked me out again and left me to be rescued by you. But at the time, I was just relieved to have survived and never even suspected Zoe. When she suddenly showed up at my door, claiming to have important information, I was completely unprepared. That's how I ended up being tied up in the Hollow for the second time. What happened next? She no longer hid and played the hunting game with me, but instead stood directly in front of me, pointing her gun at me, and revealed the true reason why she wanted to kill me. The events of the fall of the old capital are something I don't really want to remember. I know, I'm a coward. At the most critical moment, I chose to retreat along with the rest of the troops. But if you had seen that rapidly expanding Hollow Zero in person, you would have been terrified too. The moment you stepped inside, death was certain. Every soldier present knew that. My actions during the fall of the old capital are a stain on my career in the Defense Force. When I learned Zoe's true identity, I thought being killed by her would be nothing less than what I deserved. But she didn't kill you. Yeah. No matter how resigned I was, when I was about to be killed, I was still terrified. So I desperately begged her for mercy. But she didn't pull the trigger. I mustered the courage to meet her gaze, only to find her eyes empty, looking at me as if I were an insect. She raised her gun, emptied the bullets into the ceiling, and walked away. It's meaningless. Those were the last words she said. Tell me, back then, outside Hollow Zero, when we judged that our current forces couldn't stop the disaster and chose to retreat, did we really make the wrong choice? I don't know. What's the point of asking you anyway? What answer was I hoping to hear from you? Anyway, thank you. At the very least, because of this incident, I'm afraid I will never forget the nightmare of the old capital's fall. Nor the moment Zoe looked at me with those hollow eyes. Oof. Bathan. I'll remember the two of you. Are you angry? Remember, this is kind of back in time from our current main storyline. This is like a throwback to the early days of Phaethon. Are you angry? How can I not be angry? I clearly told you that if someone dies, you must inform me immediately, and I would bring in experienced Hollow Raiders to handle the situation. Yet you hid it from me and went on with the adventure. 2 inexperienced proxies, with only 1 combatant to help, and you still challenged a bloodthirsty former soldier who's killed so many? If I had known what you were planning to do, I would never have shared those location deals with you. I came here seeking a win-win, not to see rookies charge off into danger and get themselves killed. Guess we can't work together anymore. Can't work together? What do you mean we can't work together? Being able to defeat such a cunning killer and possessing that unique technique of controlling Bangbu, you've shown me incredible strength. And exclusive tech like this, Phaethon, how can I ever regard other proxies the same way after witnessing what you could do? From now on, I, Shepard, will handle your commissions. I'm betting on you, and I can already foresee the day you'll reign supreme on Internaut. Wow, thanks so much. It's me who should be thanking you. No matter how famous information brokers get, their influence is limited. But if one day Phaethon becomes a legendary proxy, Shepard will also become renowned on Internaut. But don't do anything so risky again. I don't want something to happen to the treasure I bet on. Okay, dialogue with Aaron. It's you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for finding a soldier who could take down Zoe. Are you okay? My ribs are fractured. I'm here today, barely holding on, just to thank you in person. I was too foolish. I never even considered the possibility that Zoe was the perpetrator. On the way home from the ballet twins, we walked together. She easily knocked me unconscious from behind and brought me to the hollow again. If I had known earlier that she was the perpetrator, I would have killed her right then and there. That friend of yours. Zoe tied me up in a room in the Port Elpis Hollow, told me her reasons for killing, and was about to shoot me. But all I could think about was that she had kidnapped my friend. I kept questioning her. Back then, outside the Hollow, my friend and I were both part of the reinforcement troops. I indeed felt the situation was dire and voted to retreat, but my friend, she voted to go in. Why did you go in after her? If you want revenge, you should have just killed me. Where is she now? I didn't even care about the gun pointed at my throat, just repeating these few sentences over and over, until she admitted that she had killed my friend. I will never forgive her, even if choosing to retreat was my mistake. Even if she carried the pain of losing her companions, I had only one thought: to take her down with me. But you survived. Yes, I couldn't break free from the ropes. I couldn't threaten her. All I could do was insult her over and over, begging her to kill me. But she didn't. She pinned me to the ground and beat me half to death, but stopped just before pulling the trigger. I glared at her with hatred, only to find her returning the gaze with an even greater hatred, her face streaked with tears. Why would scum like you even care about their companions? She kicked me twice with all her strength, and then left with those words. Ha. How many innocent lives has she taken so far? How many families have been torn apart because of her? And she still dares to call me scum. But now that she's dead, there's no point in saying anything more. My friend will never come back, and I can never forget the fall of the old capital, nor the series of nightmares that have followed recently. If I can meet her again in hell after I die, then I'll settle the score with her. Until that time comes, I'll make sure to survive. Anyway, thank you. And here is Nathan.
So you're the sniper from Liar Squad. It's nice to finally meet you.
And you must be the one who's been searching for me. Nathan, the younger brother of Lethe.
Lethe.
It's good to see you safe and sound.
You can hear the smile in her voice.
That's right. I'm sorry for causing all this trouble. I nearly cost you your life, becoming a target of a victim from the fall of the old capital. Maybe that's what I get, not helping my brother and the rest of the defense force back then. When the reinforcements decided to retreat, I spoke out against it. I had family among the soldiers already in the Hollow, but I didn't have the courage to take that step. The one that might have cost me my life. I'm sorry.
You don't need to feel regret or apologize. The outcome wasn't something you could have controlled. You cared deeply for Lethe, and even today you still think of him. To someone like him, who always cherished family, that's more than enough.
Thank you. I heard you've been searching for the members of Liar Squad all these years. I'm nothing compared to your determination. Thank you for everything you've done, but please stop the search. It's time for you to start living a life that's truly your own. I hate to say this as a family member, but back then, they were already...
I know. You don't need to say it. I've been drowning in a fantasy of my own making for years, but it's a fantasy that kept me from falling into the abyss. Nathan, Grim Vulture told me you have something you want to give me. Is that why you commissioned someone to find me?
Yes. After learning about the bond between you and your squad, I knew I couldn't live with myself if I didn't get this to you. So I got on my knees and begged Grim Vulture, even playing this recording for her, hoping it would move her. Regardless of how things unfolded, what matters is that it wasn't destroyed, and I'm here, alive, to hand it to you.
Nathan rummages through his jacket pocket and takes out a slightly worn tape. Liar Squad's tape. 128 gigs, that's pretty nice. A tape from Liar Squad discovered by Nathan, Lethe's younger brother. This long-sealed recording sparked the series of events that would follow. Years have passed, while the tape's surface shows some wear, the audio within remains pristine, as crystal clear as if it was recorded just yesterday. It's like a newfangled 8-track tape.
I found this while going through my brother's belongings. It's been tucked away for years. There's a recording on it, and I think it's a gift Liar Squad made for you, but never had the chance to give you.
That's gonna be a tough one to listen to.
Thank you so much. Do you mind if I listen to it now with the proxies?
With us?
Wait, with us? I thought we were just here to collect the commission fee today.
Go ahead. As for the commission fee, I'll pay it to you both shortly, so don't worry about that.
Nathan takes a step back. Charon looks at you, her lips seeming to tremble slightly. You gently hold her hand. Feeling the warmth and strength in her palm, she presses the play button.
Hey, hello? Alright, it's a recording. This is a message from Liar Squad for our little sniper. Everyone ready? I'll count down. 3, 2, 1. Congratulations on your 1000th day with Liar Squad!
Hey, you guys are totally out of sync. Captain, can we redo this? The anniversary gift has to be perfect.
That's our assault specialist, Acheron. She has a strong sense of aesthetics, prioritizing beauty in both combat and her daily life. She taught me a lot about makeup and fashion.
Oh, she won't care if we're a little off. Forget the re-record. Let's just get it done and order the cake. We don't want him to sell out.
That's our medic, Kakaitis. He's usually lazy and a bit of a smooth talker, but he's actually very capable and kind. He taught me a lot about unconventional negotiation tactics and ways of handling things.
You two, stop arguing during the recording. I've already ordered the cake. If you keep rambling, we really will have to re-record this. Cut the chatter already.
And that Styx, a reliable artillery specialist. He's the oldest in the squad. He loves sharing photos of his daughter and reminiscing about how he wooed his wife. The way he won her over inspired me a lot.
All right, let's all calm down. Wouldn't want to get on the captain's bad side. Captain, would you like to go first? We can edit or re-record whatever we need to.
That's our scout and engineer, Lethe. He's a bit self-conscious because of how his younger brother excels, and he's somewhat introverted. But he's actually very capable. He taught me sharp observation skills, calm execution under pressure, and how to make use of the environment.
Okay, thank you all for settling down before I completely lost my cool. It's fine, no need to cut anything or re-record. Let's just keep it as it is. Loud and messy, just like our Liar Squad.
That's our captain, who took me in and taught me how to play the harmonica. And the real Charon. I'll make sure to explain properly to you later, Proxy.
As you've heard, this recording is a little gift from the 5 of us. How time flies. When I brought you into the squad about 2.5 years ago, you were just a shy kid who blushed whenever you talked to someone. Over these 1,000 days, you've really worked hard to keep pace with our fighting rhythm. You've done incredibly well. In the last mission, your successful sniper kill of that high-risk Ethereal really helped Acheron a lot. I hate to say it, but yeah, I went too far in last time. Thanks for getting me out of that mess. Just this once, I'll admit, your moves were more elegant in that fight.
Not just that fight. Ever since you became a quicker shot and learned to adjust for wind speeds on the fly, we've been taking fewer and fewer hits. Makes my job way easier. So, cheers.
It's the medic.
You often worry about not doing enough. But in these 2.5 years, you've absorbed everything I know about stealth, reconnaissance, and tactical countermeasures. Trust me, you'll become an incredibly skilled sniper.
Having you covering us from the rear makes every fight feel safer. But you still have a lot to learn about socializing and romance. When peace finally comes to Eridu, leave us and live your own life.
Where did that come from? She's not leaving us. Even if she retires, she'll move into my house and I'll spoil her with loads of beautiful clothes. We can talk about living alone in 10 or 20 years. Sorry, I got carried away. Anyway, you're talented and hardworking. Over these 1,000 days, you've opened your heart to us and even encouraged us in return. Having you as a comrade is a blessing for all 5 of us. But I have to say one thing. You're always so sensitive and kind. Every time you see us get hurt, you look like you're about to break. Has our squad motto, having each other's backs, become too much of a burden for you? I get how you feel. When your squad mates trust you with their backs, your first instinct is to protect them, right? But that's not the way it should be. No one can shoulder everything alone. Don't try to carry everything on your own. Choosing to fight on the battlefield is my resolve. Feel it. Share yours with me. And when it's your turn to watch my back, I'll give my all to honor it too.
As long as you fight with all your strength, there's no such thing as failing to protect something, because your will and our will is preserved and carried on in other ways.
But don't let that weigh on you. Try to trust in us, just like we trust in you, no matter what.
I've struggled with that kind of thinking myself, but I eventually made my way through it. All this talk of camaraderie, of keeping each other safe, it's like a harmonica melody scoring our time together. Even when things change, our tune will go on, and that's enough.
Exactly. Honestly, I'm sometimes terrified. Afraid that someday, you'll blame yourself for failing to protect us and fall apart. That's why I wanted to record this message. Please, don't try to bear everything alone. Maybe you can start relying on us more, fully entrusting your vulnerable side to us. Our will has long been intertwined with yours. We're comrades. This is getting way too sentimental. It doesn't feel like me anymore. Anyway, we just want to see you trusting your comrades enough to share your burdens, even if it isn't us. Finally, we'd like to give you the song that's closest to us. If what we've said is hard to understand, just feel it through the music. Please, enjoy my masterpiece, Homecoming.
And that's where she got the song from. From their captain. And I think she's mentioned that before. The old cassette plays a familiar tune. Its sound crisp and clear, as though it were recorded just yesterday. When the music fades, the tape goes silent. You turn to the woman who calls herself Charon. As she desperately wipes away uncontrollable tears, the harbor wind ruffles her hair. And then, at last, she lifts her head.
Proxy, do you remember? I was once terrified of seeing the look on their faces.
Yes. Can you see them clearly now?
Yes. Crystal clear. As if I've returned to the exact moment of parting. So this is our last glance. This is the answer you wanted me to find. Thanks, guys. For everything.
After meeting with Nathan, you spend a long time with Charon at Port Elpis, letting the sea breeze wash over you. You don't say a word, because you both know it'll soon be time to part ways. As the temperature begins to cool, you head back to 6th Street with her. These missions have got to quit being so emotional.
Proxies. No. Lies. Belle. I've troubled you two a lot these days with my personal affairs. Words can't describe what you've done for me.
It's no trouble at all. To be honest, Belle and I have been a bit lost lately because of some personal matters. But meeting you has felt somehow comforting. Don't you think, Belle?
We've learned a lot from you too.
Exactly. We got something out of the experiences we shared. At the very least, it's brought us clarity. I guess our wills have always been aligned, haven't they?
Yeah. When I was trapped in self-doubt, unable to get out, I'm glad you were there with me. You're right. We've already entrusted our backs to each other as comrades. And because of that, because we are comrades, please, hear me out. Maybe you've already noticed. I'm sorry, but I've been keeping something from you. Charon isn't actually my codename. As I mentioned before, Charon was my captain's codename. When I met both of you for the first time, I didn't want to tell you my codename, because I thought someone who couldn't protect their squad mates had no right to one. So I lied. Captain Charon was an orphan like me, with no family to mourn her. I've been using her codename because I may be the last person in the world who still remembers her. But I understand now. If I want to keep moving forward, I can't keep hiding behind a lie. My true codename is...
Stop her from continuing.
You don't have to tell me right now.
At the harbor, Nathan spoke to you privately. Was he offering you a chance to return to the Defense Force?
Yes. He said he still has a friend in the Defense Force who's currently forming a new squad. And if my goals align with theirs, I could consider joining them.
So, what's your decision? Where will you go next?
After everything that's happened, I think I do share the same goal as that friend of his and the new squad they're building. So I'll head back to the new Eridu Defense Force and keep chasing my new goal with a new team.
And your new goal is?
Your new goal? Are you going to look further into the fall of the old capital?
Yes. My encounter with Grim Vulture has made me realize this should be the true form of my vengeance. I'll uncover the real culprits behind the old capital's fall and make them pay for their crimes. If the ferryman who leads me to the truth demands a price, I'm willing to wager my life. I have a gut feeling the masterminds will reveal themselves again soon. To protect the city my comrades cherished and sacrificed their lives for, I won't allow such a tragedy to happen again. By letting the will to protect guide my hatred, I now have a clear aim toward the truth.
That's exactly why we can't be completely honest with each other right now.
That's what I thought. If that's the case, then for now, we probably shouldn't learn your true codename, or lean on each other too much.
Are you saying we're on opposite sides?
No. We might walk different paths. Those paths will lead us to the same destination. It's just that, for now, We can't say any more than that.
That's gotta be so hard after everything that they've just gone through. And right now, we're still very powerless.
To be honest, after facing an enemy as ruthless as Grim Vulture, we're reminded of our own powerlessness. Watching you fight back, almost losing your life to a bullet, that feeling. We're nowhere near strong enough to protect you, and we're not strong enough to open up about our pasts either. Sorry.
Without a second thought or hesitation, Charon takes hold of each of your hands and brings them together at her chest.
If this is your slightly selfish principle, I'll respect it. You were once my proxies, and I'll keep this memory locked away as something I cherish. If, as you say, our destination is the same, then we should continue on our separate paths, striving to grow stronger. The next time we meet, I'll reveal my true codename. I hope we can become true comrades. I want your presence to forever remain in the melody of my life.
Deal?
Yes, it's a promise. We'll meet again, Charon.
You watch as the woman who calls herself Charon walks farther and farther away. A Defense Force soldier waits for her at the end of her path.
Hello. I'm the sniper from the former Liar Squad of the Chrysoberyl Division, recommended by Captain Nathan, originally of the new Eridu Defense Force's Obsidian Division, Impera Squad.
Yeah, I heard about you from my superior. You're the one who dealt with the serial murders targeting the Defense Force, right? Well, the new Eridu Defense Force is ready to welcome you back. Let me confirm a few details before taking you to base. Which squad are you applying to join? And did you have a code name during your previous service?
We're gonna end up getting to know it here, even though the proxies won't.
I'm applying to join the Obsidian Division's Oval Squad. As for my codename...
She's already marked with Oval. Because this is her current appearance. As for my codename?
Trigger. I was Trigger of Liar Squad.
Things have come to an end. Belle, do you think we'll ever see Charon again? For sure. Yeah, I hope so too. We must grow, get stronger, and gain greater power to face any crisis. When we reunite with her, we must... hear her real codename. Exactly. However, after hearing about the connection between Charon and Grim Vulture, I can't help but feel a bit sad. Two people with the same fate ended up walking completely different paths, becoming enemies. Belle, if we also encounter enemies who once experienced the same fate, but now walk completely different paths with opposing goals, forced to be enemies, what would you choose to do? I would defeat them both in combat and ideology, and seek mutual understanding with them. I think this is the better response. That really sounds like something you'd say, Belle. If that time ever comes, let's seek mutual understanding with the other party together. Phaethon should face everything together, right? After everything that's happened, I'm feeling a bit tired. You must feel the same, right, Belle? I'm emotionally exhausted. We'll get more and more commissions from Shepard from now on. How about we take a short break while we can? Take a break. Leave the story. You've completed this chapter. The content is now available in the video archive. There is a new challenge here. We'll go ahead and complete that as well. Give me just a moment. Okay. We will do this last training here and the last assessment, and then we'll wrap up for the day. We should be able to manage this. That story was intense. Oh yes, it's this. Popping up with barricades. Nice. Okay, and then the assessment. Excellent. Okay, so we've completed all of those. And if I'm understanding it right, because this, once we've completed, well, I don't know about the mini game here, but the story is in the archive. I was hoping this would be available as well, because this is actually lots of fun. Okay, claim all of those. And that is the agent story called Flowers of Asphodel, which Asphodel is a flower that is most commonly associated with mourning and death, but mostly mourning and loss, I guess, maybe more than death. So that's kind of, I'm sure, the connection there. So that is both of those stories complete. And, oh, message from Shepard. So remember to note down every win, every showdown with Ethereals, every stare off with the Hollows. Add? Okay, I think that's something else. Tsukishiro Yanagi. So. Alrighty. Oh, we can do a rank up thing. Cool. That's good. That will have to be in a different episode. So let me Trigger. Since we've added her to our collection. Mail. Achievements. We get achievements from that, I'm sure. Last glance and first hello. Complete trigger agent story out of sight. And we did this one. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up there for the day. I will probably do our dailies either in a separate recording or tomorrow before server resets. But that is everything I have for this episode of Zenless Zone Zero. That was really intense. Another very emotional event there. I'm very glad we got that completed. 0-point calibration. That was intense. So that kind of ties into some of the information we knew about her from before, from the Silver Soldier song. Because we interacted with Trigger in that. You'll have to check out those episodes if you missed it. It was another good one. Had me in tears then too. But yeah, that's going to wrap up our episode for today. For those of you watching after the stream, I do want to remind you that we stream these videos live at twitch.tv/unexpectedlyrandom. We are here Monday through Saturday at roughly 7 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you follow us on Twitch to join the chaos and check out our streaming schedule for the current lineup. We also have a Facebook and Instagram. Those are the best places to stay up to date with any changes that may occur pertaining to the streaming schedule. And we have a TikTok and the social media platform formerly known as Twitter if you want to check us out over there. Otherwise, if you're enjoying the content there on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, and it lets us know what content you guys are enjoying. That's everything for this episode of Zenless Zone Zero. Hope you guys had a wonderful time today. Thanks for joining me for this very emotional event and agent story. Hoyoverse is doing a really good job with these stories. When they hurt that much, just playing through them, you know it's a good one. So that's pretty awesome. We will see you guys in the next one, and until then, stay random.